The viper, see? That's why I wouldn't call it a viper if it wasn't a viper.
Sit your ass down. We're filming a podcast. All right, 3, 2, 1. We are recording on all orifices. Pat has his big black viper, which is not what it seems. It's actually
a product placement. You can curl it.
It's a workout thing. I don't know why he has it, but he has it.
You can curl it. All right. You can press it. You can squat it.
Nice. Okay, but this by no means is sponsored, and we are not associated with
Buy
the
a viper. Other than that, I'm not sure what you're supposed to do with it.
we
probably do this.
We do not support vipers, but they do look kind of cool.
Tricep that thing.
With that being said, we're going to dive into today's guest. Today's guest on the podcast
35 kilograms.
Yes, it's 35 kilograms, Pat. Today's guest on the podcast is a good friend of ours. His name is Ethan Harrison. He skied with us growing up and been a good friend just basically forever, and he absolutely crushes it on skis, so it's going to be an entertaining podcast. I'm excited to share this one with you. Pat has his magic hat on. He's taking our brand new ASC hat off.
Wearing it, so I'm not.
Do you want to pass me the ASC hat?
No, go get your own.
Oh.
You're wearing a Boston
Well,
cream hat.
If you guys are listening to this podcast, click the link down below. Join the Facebook group, the ASC, our Action Sports Community Group. Quick plug. Before we dive into it, big shout out to all the sponsors of the podcast. Red Bull for supporting us. The beautiful Red Bull fridge is in full motion. We are thinking about getting every guest that comes into studio to sign the Red Bull fridge, but we haven't had a guest. We haven't had a guest come in on studio yet.
It's just me, so my name's on there.
It's just Pat, the OG guest, and the guy that needs to pull his shirt down.
You need more Red Bull, by the way.
So shout out to Red Bull for the Red Bull fridge. We're pretty stocked up on the winter edition, but
no, we're not. This is all
Are
front,
we?
by the way. There's only 2 cans, which means
we're diving low
to 8.
It means we've been making good work of the winter edition. I'm in my pajamas because I've been fasting / detoxing for the last 3 days, and I'm hungry, and I don't really care because it's my podcast.
Hungry and moody.
Yeah, so I'm now in my pajamas in my podcast studio recording this podcast. Shout out to all the other sponsors that support my ski season: Vertica Outerwear, K2 Skis, Wear Leather, Mount St. Louis Moonstone. If you guys ever want to go skiing, best parks in Ontario.
Problem is you waited too long. No more seasons passes this year.
Yes, you did wait too long because COVID has limited season passes, but
ruining it for everybody.
Damn COVID. But Mount St. Louis, by far, best train park in North America. I'm gonna say it. My favorite one. I hate to do it, but it's my favorite one.
You hate to do it? Why?
I hate to do it.
Who?
I hate to do it. Mount St. Louis is my favorite place to go skiing, and I'm not just saying that. I actually love it there. That's why I'm a local resident of the train park crew and just local resident of the hill. On top of that, we have... Who else do we have sponsoring the podcast?
I'm sponsoring the podcast.
Podcast Pat is sponsoring the podcast. All right. With that, we will get back to you on another... And with that...
Mess that one up.
I did mess that one up. With that, we're going to call Ethan here, and we're going to get him on the podcast.
Back to the tent.
This is our second attempt
back to the studio.
Doing a live intro.
It's not gonna. I can't send a Snapchat, so you better not be on Wi-Fi.
I'm on the data, but we'll see how well it works. We're calling Ethan right now.
This is what we're dealing with. Anyone who knows how to supercharge internet, I'm gonna use that term.
Our internet
I know
is
that's
awful.
not right.
Hello, Ethan. Yes, look at you.
How's it going, Bruce?
Good. Can you see Pat? Here, I got script it so you can see Pat. He's hiding out of the screen. He's scared of you. Look at his hat.
I love that hat. That's an amazing hat.
It's his cowboy hat. He's been wearing it.
It's Cody's backup for his Halloween costume, so I've been wearing it around the house.
It's his new thing.
I like that. Hold on. I'll grab my cowboy hat for you.
This is not, by the way, this is some crappy Value Village costume of a witch or something.
I feel like you got the proper
Hey, I
hat.
stole this from my sister because I thought it looked hipster, but it's actually too hipster for me. So,
I don't think I can go out in public in this thing.
That would make a mean springtime lap hat, though.
You gotta attach
it
somehow.
with my sunnies underneath, that'd be pretty gangster.
You'd have to attach it somehow, though, or you'd lose it.
Yeah, you just need to tie a shoelace around your head like Alex ABM used to do with his toupes.
And then all the kids that followed him after.
Oh yeah, with that stupid thing hanging
There you go.
I've been watching edits. I see that everywhere. And honestly, I'm not going to lie. I was definitely at one point trying to figure out what it was. And I definitely tied a shoelace around my head. But it looked stupid, so I took it off.
Yeah, it looks kind of dumb, but whatever.
Yeah, where she goes. Good.
Where she goes. Yeah.
Good to see you, man. What have you been up to? How's
Good to see you too, man. I missed you guys. Missed you both. But literally just been working. Working 5 days a week, putting in my time.
Attaboy, getting ready for the winter.
Yeah, trying to save as much money as possible, putting some money into my car so it's not going to be a piece of crap, you know?
I'm just driving mine
Same
till it
old
dies.
stuff.
Oh, you should hear Pat's car problems. They're not great.
I lose a foot of exhaust every week.
He does not stop
That's
pitching
awesome.
about it.
I hate driving around
Well,
in it.
I drew a nice little picture on his hood when it was just the primer. I thought that was pretty funny.
I got out there with like soap and it's now white almost. I've scrubbed off all of the primer and it still says stuff on the hood.
It hasn't came
That's
off.
awesome.
His car's just white. Yeah, it's busted.
That's awesome.
My Lamb-mobile is not doing well either. The front fender's falling off.
We should just buy a limo and all drive around together.
Yeah, can I move into this limo because like for weekends I need a place to live.
Dude,
If
we
it's
should
big
just
enough.
buy a little RV.
No, a limo. That would be like the.
Why don't we try and rent one of those Canada RV things and just live in it on weekends
Never
and park
give
it
it
at
back.
Louis?
Be pretty sick.
We lost the RV, filled out the insurance forms, and nobody will see it again.
We'll spray paint it black. I'm definitely gonna need
But you could buy an old limo for like a few $100s, and you,
a few $100.
like yeah, real shitty
Do you
old.
think I have a few $100s to spare? I do not.
Well, we just get a shitty old
Me too.
Cadillac. I mean, there's one sitting at my cousin's farm, man. We could just move in.
Okay, let's put beds in it, Bruce, and park it at Louis.
All right, sounds like a plan. I've been trying to figure that out actually. I've been like looking to see if it's worth me like renting a place in Barrie or not, but fuck it.
Yeah, I'm
Actually,
past that.
maybe
I'm
start
gonna do the
working.
drive Friday nights.
Yeah.
It's such a brutal drive, man.
Are you just coming down on weekends this year?
Yeah, just Saturday, Sundays. But I'm
What?
gonna hopefully be there Friday nights.
Where are you staying?
Couch surfing.
Yeah, you know, I have friends like you were my friend Pat that one year when I stayed on your couch
Yeah.
every weekend.
No, I remember
I
that.
slept in the closet. Who's
People-
sleeping in the closet?
People have. Oh yeah, Jesus Christ.
Oh, I slept in the closet big time.
Little
I
closet
forgot about
room.
the first year. Oh my god, yeah.
Oh,
very
that was
first
a
year.
year and a half.
That whole year has just disappeared. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
and
was
then
reckless.
then when we
That
had
was
our
a
own
hot
house, then we got all the boys stayed over.
Yeah, it was more manageable the second time.
It was definitely more manageable the second time.
But it's, who else?
Yeah, I
is-
was living in Aurelia and I was there every night.
Yeah.
Just because I wanted to hang out with you guys. You guys were reckless.
Yeah, because you get lonely. I mean,
we
I
had
get
like,
lonely too.
We had Christ and Rylan who had fully moved in for like a few
I
weeks. Like,
forgot about that.
well past the allowed amount
Dude.
of occupants in the building.
Because it was me and Rylan in my porn cave, and he was supposed to pay me $50 a month in rent, and he didn't pay me once. And he was there for like 3 months.
Christ just, once he blew his knee, was just there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just there playing video games, hanging out with the boys. It was good shit.
Yeah, yeah.
Dude, we need to get a new ski house again. We need to reinvest in a ski house.
But we need, if it's on
Uh,
wheels, then
we
it's not
should.
limited. That's the great idea.
An on-wheels ski house.
There's,
One of those,
there's
like,
a motorhome at like 400 meters from here we could just hotwire.
Just like Bruce's car that ended up in the ditch.
I think that was my fault, honestly. I left the window open with the keys in it. So,
But they
maybe-
still tried to, whoever did it tried to push it, and then the wheel turned and locked, and then they just rolled her into the ditch because she had a bit of curve going.
It was just bad. It's not
That's
fun to
awesome.
wake up. Yeah, it's got some new dings in it. Plus, Megan's backed into it, never fixed it. So, it's trucking along, but it's not going to make it much longer.
Better than mine.
It's doing better than yours. Yes, but I only have
Hey,
two.
hey, hey! I bought a Volkswagen for $300. You should get on my wave.
Is it still working?
Yeah, man. I just invested another
$300.
300, but I just put another $1,300 into it to make sure it runs.
I bought mine
Fair
for
enough.
6 and had to put 7 into it. No, I bought mine for 7 and had to put another 7 into it.
Yeah, so Pat's losing out of all of us. I got
Pat,
mine
you're
for...
the losing. You're losing.
It's been 3 years and I want to burn it to the ground.
I put 4 in mine and had to buy a new clutch because I drive like an idiot. Or I drove like an idiot.
I was driving with
That
him.
was it.
I was going up a hill and he's redlining in 5th gear and we're doing 50. It's like, no clutch smell left. That's how far going it was.
You were just bouncing off the red line. What's it called on the dirt bikes?
On the dirt bikes?
Yeah. When you like bounce it off the red line, you're like rev lining it or something.
Redlining? I don't know.
I'm not an advanced
There's a
dirt
rev
biker.
limiter on it.
Yeah, it's
That's
got a
bad.
yeah. You were riding the rev limiter.
There you go.
There we go. We got it. I forgot.
Yeah.
I feel like there's another term though.
Alright, so before we get chit-chatting about too much bullshit, we'll get into that later. Give the audience a little chance to get to know who you are, Ethan. your past and skiing and all that other nonsense, because this is supposed to be an action sports podcast. I mean, I know that we can talk about nonsense all day, and we probably will, but like, just give him a little touchdown before we get too far into the actual podcast.
All right. Well, my name's Ethan Harrison. I'm from Picton, Ontario, which is like the middle of nowhere skiing. Skiing's not around here. I was on the Ontario team for a year and was a wind sport for a year, but I've coached for Agenda Freestyle or Free Ski for the past 3 years. I'm not going to be coaching this year just because of COVID and all, but still going to ski. Got my Louis Pass. Hopefully going to put up lots of content for the boys.
You got your Louis Pass before they sold out, eh?
Yes, sir.
Did you get a full one?
Got a full one, baby.
Proud member of the K2 Ontario gang with the kid. We're going to get some good content.
Welcome to K2, baby. Shout out to Louis.
Can you do a switch double backflip while you do a switch double front flip?
Yeah, we can make that happen.
Yo, we could actually make that happen.
That's my request.
That could be a thing.
It's officially been made on October 30th.
I'll put a sick video of Ethan doing a switch double backflip from last season. That was super nice, just so you guys get the vibe. Sweet. So let's touch down a little bit more on that, though. How did you get into skiing? Because, like you said, Picton. I don't know.
Picton.
My cousins are from Picton. It's in out west, but it's like farms and all that nonsense. So, how do you get into skiing?
It's up? Wine, actually.
Wine, sorry.
Yeah, we got lots of wineries and breweries here. If you want to check it out, throw a little ad for Prince Edward County in here, Bruce. It's great.
Prince Edward Brewery.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm stoked.
I got my Prince Eddie's Brewing Co. right here. But no, my dad and my mom were always super into skiing growing up, so they always made it happen for me. Like, my mom took me skiing Quebec lots. My dad, well, I had 4 older sisters too, so they were always into skiing, and we went out west a few times. So
are they hot?
Skiing was always around. Fuck off.
Well, are they all married now?
No, only they all live with their significant other. I'm the only person that lives by myself, so you guys are out of luck.
Yeah, but soon you'll be moving in with us again, especially once ski season comes. You can take Pat's bed once he moves out.
I don't want to take Pat's bed. I don't want to know what he's done in there.
I mainly just sleep, to be honest.
It's really getting depressing. Our lives have not been anything special lately.
No, but I met a guy.
Same.
This is
You met a guy.
I met a guy this week when I was doing work at his house for septic system, and for his daughter's wedding present, he bought her a cottage on Lake Joe that's bigger than this house. I gotta find someone's daughter like that.
Yeah, same. That would be sick.
Turning the tables on the game plan.
Yeah, rich ladies hit me up.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be the dad. I want to pimp out some wedding presents of my daughter. Anyways, so back to it. You grew up and your family would just go on ski trips and stuff to Quebec and all around and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, and then I quit hockey and I met Pat, who's sitting next to you, at Calabogie, and then started actually competing, and that's how I got into it.
Yeah, so
that's when it all began. The injuries started lining up.
That's when the injuries for both you guys began. You guys clapped out a lot. So, I mean, you guys skied at Calabogie. Where else? What was the other hill that?
We went all over the place, man. We went to Tremblant. Ethan broke his hip. We went somewhere else. He broke his collarbone.
Yeah, we're all over the place. We're at Fortune, Edelweiss.
Edelweiss was fun. That was the best.
What's the other one in Ottawa Valley?
We went to Sever, but that's not.
We went to Sever like early season.
Yes, with Scott and Ryan Wheaton.
And that's
man.
And that's how you kind of got into parks. Like, you were already in park skiing a bit, but then you and Pat like started doing it together and competing and stuff.
Yeah, man. Pat and I, like, the first day we met each other, I think I learned like 3 or 4 new tricks, and they weren't like 360s. They were like rodeo 5s.
Did a
like,
switch backflip.
Backflips.
Never done one before in my life. I was like, I could do a switch backflip.
Yeah, we were just like, let's do it.
I tried to flip off a box and just totally tacoed myself on the snow.
There's a video of that too. You should go find it.
I'll find it somewhere. There's also the classic video of Pat doing the double backflip on the jump you guys built.
Oh yes, remember that?
Oh yeah, that's a good.
That was.
I was shirtless.
Yeah, you did one.
Yeah, I did one shirtless. I used to have the video on my old phone, but I lost the phone.
If I can find it, I'll throw that in too. That's great. Yeah.
We to put this in perspective, this is like December at a hill that has no park. It's absolutely terrible. And we found this one steep run. Now, looking back, it's basically a perfect big air landing. Like, it's long, it is steep, but it's just part of the run. And they happen
It
to
was
have...
so gnarly.
Yeah, but this is early season, so there's no base. So there's like not even a foot of snow. It's all packed to shit. And there's bomb holes and dirt and rocks. I'm like, oh yeah, we can land here. And there happened to be a snowmaking mound, like, about 50 feet back from the top of this roller. And we're like, oh, we'll just shovel it into a jump. Snowmaking snow in December. Let's shovel it into a jump. It took us about 4 hours.
Ice.
We had to dig a tunnel, like... Or not a tunnel, but like it was like 5 feet.
It was
deep.
like a hallway that went through the middle of this thing.
Because it was like an
straight
oblong.
to a fucking booter.
It was
just
an
like
oblong one. Because it wasn't like a pile. It was like 4 piles. It was like a long, and we had a tunnel through the middle, and it just went straight up. Ah, I double backflip, backslap so hard, thought I broke my sternum. Ethan tried so long. You got beat up trying to do a double backflip on that.
Yeah, I gave up. I did land one backflip, and the only time I landed, I stomped it, and it was like I was shirtless. I was like, yes, I give up. If I'm gonna die, I'm gonna die right now. And I was like, actually pulled it together.
I did like 3 backflips, tried a double backflip, got clapped, regrouped, went out. It's crazy how easily. Or how hard it was to deter us at that age. We're like, oh, we'll just do it again. Like, winded, dying, have to walk up because the hill's closed and ski patrol is trying to find us. We have all their shovels. We're like, all right, I'm going to go again.
Ski patrol shovels.
That's funny. That's some good content.
That was what we always used to do, whether it was urban or something like that. That's how that whole...
Dude, I remember back in the day when I used to be able to get clapped and get back up and just get clapped again.
That was awesome. Those were the days.
Dude, it takes a while now. I'm feeling old, but I'm not.
I skied off so many cliffs one summer at Momentum because there was not enough snow and it was all cut. And I'd catch an edge, blow through some V-netting and fall 6 feet onto a rail or onto a tent, get beat up, and just keep going.
I have some funny videos of trying to do tricks out of rails that just were never going to happen. But at this point, so... Then, did you do a year on the Ontario team before you went out to Winsport, or did you do Winsport, then Ontario, then Winsport?
You came to New Zealand?
So yeah, I skied on the national NCR team, the National Capital Region team with Pat and
that was the thing
all the Ottawa boys.
Yes,
like
and there's SOR
Lolo.
before Gender.
Yeah, that's so
it was
funny.
Like Lolo, Matt Bull.
Oscar.
No, Matt Bull wasn't on that team. It was like Lolo and
Matt Bull. Well, we knew Matt Bull from junior, or I did from juniors before, but he was on the Ontario team before that, I think.
Yeah, he was on the Ontario team, but like we were on the NCR team. I remember I did a comp with the Ontario team in Quebec at Mont Saint Bruno, and then we had the end of year like gathering, and Pat Walsh told me I was going to be on the Ontario team, and I got super hyped. And then Saxon Giddings sent me a text. He's like, "I'm going to be your coach on the Ontario team." I was like, "No way!" Like sick. And then did a whole bunch of water ramp camps with the Ontario team. We went to New Zealand, and we went to Whistler too. I knocked myself out doing something really dumb.
I was there for that. I thought
you
he
might
died.
as well enlighten us.
I thought he died.
I've heard the story, and I think it's a great one.
Yeah. Don't take selfies and try backflips.
You'll
Let's
do
just say that.
too.
But so I did that, and then when I came back from New Zealand, I don't know, wasn't feeling like the whole team thing, and wasn't getting along with the coaches, so decided to quit and started skating with Jeff Lovelace for a year, and that's when Bruce and I were on the team. We were on the team that year together.
Our first year together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and
yeah,
we sent it. Ethan was significantly better than me, but I was trying to keep up, and we were hawking meat that year.
Dude, Jeff was like, at that point, Jeff was still like, "Yeah, boys, you think you can land it? Yeah, do it. Let's do it."
There was no Sean in the equation.
No, Jeff was fully on board with the Carnage, because that was the year he was hurting himself too, when he was also trying to film his own stuff, and like, dude, that was bad. Yeah, we used to.
That was a full Carnage year, and then after that, I kind of got like. The whole high school that I was going to didn't really want me to come back, and there's a whole lot of issues, so I was like, me and my parents decided that it would be best if I went to Winsport, because there was the high school out there too, National Sports School, and it was right at the base of the ski hill. Like, it was super easy and everything. So made the move out there. Skied with Rex Thomas. That was fucking sick.
I had a conversation about Rex the other day. Oh my god.
Oh, I love Rex. That guy will always be a major inspiration in my life. But yeah, I know it was a really great building year for me. Even though it wasn't like super built, like I progressed skiing so much, but it also was just like a year where I came to understand who I was and what I actually wanted to do.
Yeah, for sure. That was one of my questions, because you're like because I personally have never done it, and like most people that ski, some people do it, some people don't. But when you become an athlete that travels like this, like you're living abroad quite a lot, but you lived like an entire year years by yourself in Calgary. What was that like? Like, just like transitioning high school out there, meeting new people, living out there by yourself, like.
Yeah, so like this summer I moved out in June or July, and my dad lived with me all summer, so it was pretty cool. But honestly, like living in a new place, the only people I knew were like the people that were on my team, and that was it. Like I knew no one in Calgary. But I started going to high school in September, met a few hot babes, started hanging with them and their friends. But yeah, I don't know, made some super great friends. Like they're honestly like just as close as you and I and Pat and I.
Yeah. But
they're out there, and yeah, it was a big year. I worked at a bar. I remember working till like 5 a.m. one day, and then going to high school 2 hours later. That was an event.
See, that sounds like a lifestyle.
I couldn't do it. I'd be asleep before I left the bar.
Man, when I was 18, I had all the energy in the world. Now that I'm 21, I'm just useless. I'm like 9 o'clock hits. I'm like, oh, it's bedtime.
Yeah, that's all I do is sleep. I was up at 5:15 to go to work today.
It was a big day for Patty.
I wake up at 5 every morning, dude.
It sucks. I don't usually get up at 5. I was like, man, I better go to bed at 9 o'clock. I'm like, what is the point of this?
Dude, I wake up at 5 every morning. I'm ready for my day.
I'd get up at 5 to go hit some backcountry without a second's notice. But what is the point of doing it every day? I don't know. I don't like it.
I don't know. I don't mind it. I keep talking about being old and not having energy, but I got more energy than all these young kids coming up. I'm a bury.
Yeah, you do.
I'm a bury them all.
Yeah, you do.
100% for me is
You've been using the Black Viper. That's what's going on.
Yeah, exactly. That's funny. All right, dude. Well, one more I got on the list, because I do have a little list of questions I wanted to ask you, and I know this one's gonna fit right. It's gonna fit well with your ski career. Yeah, don't make that face. What are the worst injuries you have? Have obtained over your career skiing?
Concussions.
What are my worst injuries? Sorry.
What are your worst injuries you've had over the years? And yeah, tell us a bit about them, because there's a lot.
Okay, so let's start with the one that Pat already talked about, Tremblant. So I dislocated my hip.
Yeah.
When we were skiing at Tremblant, I overshot a jump that was probably like 40 feet. I probably took it to 120 on a switch 180. Let's just start
Wait,
with
you went that big?
I went that big on a switch 1, and I held it at 1, bro. I held it at 1.
I mean, that in itself is impressive.
Should have done a 7 or a 14.
I remember like doing the switch 1 and being like stuck there, and I was like, oh.
Man, there was something about switch 1s when you were learning how to hit jump switch that was just so sketchy.
Rylan broke his arm on one.
Like, they would just ruin your head somehow.
Okay, never mind, I won't say that. But yeah, no, so that sucked, and then...
you can say it if you want.
No, I was partaking, so we can't say it. Like, that just sounds bad.
Oh, I know what's going on. Back to the Quebec one. I was skiing with Ethan that day, and I missed him on one lap, and then I go out the lift with Saxon, who I happened to run into, and Ethan is just gone. He's on the ground, and then he's with his dad somewhere. I'm pretty sure I went there with you guys, and I'm like at the hill now by myself because he's gone to the hospital. I had no idea what to do.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
It was great.
But yeah, I used to... I don't even know. Like, I tore all the ligaments in my thumbs, so I don't know here.
I remember
if I can show you.
Yeah, I remember.
You couldn't pick anything up.
Yeah, I'm just trying to, like, set my phone up there, but, like, I can go, like, do some weird configurations with my thumbs.
I can do that.
But, so I've had both my thumbs, like, repaired, and they've been done, but they're both mangled again, and then broke my collarbone in Aspen.
Yes.
That was sick. And then I bent it 9 weeks later at a Whistler camp, which was even more sick.
Yeah, when you bend metal that's been put in, that's when it's gone
Oh, you
wrong.
bent the metal?
Yeah, like my plate's fully bent now, and it's just sitting
Is it
there.
still
in my shoulder.
bent?
It's still bent. They won't do anything about it.
Oh.
How did you bend it?
On a switch one.
Of course.
Actually, no, it was a zero spin, but I'll say it was a
switch
switch one for
switch
comedic
one's
humor.
switch one's the same thing.
I hate switch ones.
No,
Now
I
that
literally
think...
just caught in the slush and rolled over on it. Didn't even think it was that I did anything. It was just really sore. And Rex was like, "Yeah, you should probably just go down to the hospital, get it checked out." So I was like, "Okay." Took the CAT scanner up, had a good cry because I was like, "This is broken. This is what ended my career."
Yeah.
Turns out it was. But get up to the top, pick up my one ski. I had one ski. Didn't have a binding on it. It had the mount holes because that was my spare ski in case I broke the ski.
Good to go.
One ski. And skied down, got in my car, drove myself to the Whistler Hospital, sat there for 4 hours, got my x-ray, and then by that time, my father, who was there at the camp, he was like, "Hey, how's your day? I haven't seen you all day. Are you skiing?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm at the hospital." I didn't want to tell you, but I'm at the hospital. But yeah, so they came back with the x-rays, and they were like, "Yeah, so it looks fine." And I take a look at the x-rays. I was like, "Can I see them?" Show me. I was like, "That's not how it's supposed to look." And they're like, "What do you mean?" And I pull up the original x-rays on my phone. I was like, "This is how it's supposed to look." And the nurse or the x-ray technician's like, "Yeah, you should go see a doctor in your hometown in Calgary." And I was like, "Okay." So me and my dad hopped in the car at 4 p.m. on a Wednesday night, drove from Whistler to Calgary.
Jesus.
We got there at 4 in the morning, and he took me straight to the hospital.
Oh no.
Yeah, it was great. Great times. And then lots of concussions. I'm probably pretty squinty right now, but that's because I'm not wearing my glasses that I'm supposed to wear all the time.
Because of concussions. Don't get concussions.
So are they fixing your, what do the glasses do?
You can see.
So they redirect. Yeah, all they do is the lenses are thick at one end and thin at the other, and they redirect the light into my eyes.
Yeah.
They're not fixing anything. They've just kind of come to the realization that they're not going to be fixed, and they're just redirecting light in my eyes, helping me see better, less headaches, less light sensitivity. It's pretty good. I can't wear glasses.
How many Conkies have you racked up now?
I don't know.
More than me, and I've had a lot.
Rough estimate.
Probably upwards of I've definitely had 3 or 4 that have been diagnosed, but then there's been multiple times where I've been knocked out and just been
"All right, let's go."
Yeah. Or even this past season, one of the kids, I was skiing with all my kids, and then I did a front flip, over rotated straight to my face.
Jesus.
Next thing I know, Jesse Gross is behind me, and he just got my ski. He's like, "Ethan, you okay?" And I was like, "Yeah, man, let's go. You shouldn't have seen that." And he just handed me my ski, but I was fully unconscious. I do not remember being down. And he said he was fair distance behind me.
I've seen Ethan hit his head concussion multiple times. I've been skiing with him long enough. I remember I gave him my old helmet, and he broke it in a day on a switch rodeo or something at Calabogie, and just cracked the thing in half.
Yeah.
I'm going to say you got upwards of 15. That's going to be my guess.
15
probably.
respectable ones.
It's pretty,
I've got
a pretty thick skull.
I've had at least 10.
Well, thank God you do. Yeah, I've had probably close to Pat, 5 or 10.
No,
5 to 10.
You've had more than 5.
I've had a lot, but I've never
Think
got
about
diagnosed.
all the times you've clapped yourself wakeboarding and you're in the water and you're just I never get anything diagnosed. Just keep going.
Oh, or at least at 15 then.
That's fair.
There's
I remember
the thing though, even now to this day, I will not go get my eyes checked again.
If I get a concussion, I have to miss skiing. And they're just going to tell me a bunch of bullshit, so I'm just going to take a few days off, revamp it, and continue.
Dude, I had one really bad one. I was at Whistler. I forget what it was. It was the last day of skiing. And I knuckled Max Moffat and everybody was hitting the jumps. And this is little Bruce when he's first time to Whistler. I'm like, "Yo, Max Moffat did a 540," and everybody else on the team wasn't hitting the jumps. So I'm like, "I'm going to hit the jumps." And little did I know, first hit, 540. I I weigh a lot less than everybody else, so I kneed myself in the face, knuckled by like 5 feet, like a bloody nose, lip, all that stuff.
Speaking of following Max Moffat into jumps, do you remember when we were at Momentum the year you backflipped the jump first day and got sent home?
Yeah, I kicked off the fucking glacier.
Were you there when I knuckled the shit out of it?
Yeah,
I came up like 10
It was
feet
like
short.
first hit of the Momentum Glacier. That like first day they pushed up the big jump.
Huge
Max
wedge.
Moffat, Mark Hendrickson, like all these guys, like yeah, okay, they're better than me, and they were better than me then too. It doesn't make a difference.
They're straight.
But I was just like, I could do it. I could do it if they can do it. They do 2 big straight airs. I think one of them did a 360. Fucking first hit, Ethan comes up, big old backy, stomped. Like, stomped the piss out of it. Next lap, my coach comes up to me. He's like, yeah, you're getting kicked off the glacier for the day. Like, what is this?
I remember that. I was like, what is going on? And then I hit it and came up like 10 feet short on like the 45-degree uphill and just sent it, absolutely died. Probably got a concussion there too.
Well,
yeah. I went and skied public park for the rest of the day.
Yeah, I saw you after that.
All.
We'll have to write a formal report to formal complaint to John Smart.
From John Smart, I'll just call Luke and be like, "Yo, no, I can't even do that. I
They just
I have too much respect.
You just get owed 1 full day at Momentum. That's
yes.
Yeah,
Saxon Giddings
owed at this point.
Saxon
Giddings. I'd be taking that in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Saxon Giddings owes you 1 day at Momentum, and he owes all of us 1 day of ramping. He's supposed to ramp when Scott did 50 jumps, and he never did it.
Saxon Giddings hit ramps for 1 day.
He owes us that.
Do you remember he lost the bet to Scott?
He lost the bet to Scooter. Yeah, he did. That's a thing.
Yeah, I remember. I was there, and we were like, we were all like, "Oh, there's no way Scott's gonna do it." Scott, you gotta take that bet. That's a big bet. And then first session ends, we're like, "Holy shit, maybe he can do it." And then at the end of the day, everybody was just still ramping with Scott and cheering him on. And then Saxon's like, "I wasn't serious." I was like, "Oh,
yeah." And then the next day, Scott's like having mental breakdown. He's like, "I'm gonna quit this team. This team sucks."
Saxon.
And I twisted my ankle, and Saxon came up to me, he's like, "Ethan, you gotta go to the cafe with Scott, make sure he doesn't quit or do something stupid." I was like, yeah, I got this. Go to the cafe? Yeah, I think I'm gonna quit too, man.
Dude, honestly, water ramps were my shit, man. I remember spending so much time trying to learn how to right cork 7. I spent an entire summer.
Right corks were an entire summer for almost everybody except for Ethan.
Belly flopped for an entire summer trying to learn right corks for some dumb reason.
Ethan got them on the swords like day 1.
So good.
Yeah.
Remember those metal skis?
So I hated ramps. I absolutely hated ramps. Red Deer Waste Facility. Like, it's literally a dog pond with dog poo floating around. It's the most disgusting place. Had the most fun there. Like, unreal time with, like, Evan Marino, Dylan Marino, Finn Young, like, all those guys. There was no limits. It wasn't like, you have to do this, you have to do this. Like, yeah, I had to do dub 10s, and yeah, I had to do switch dubs. But it was just like, Rex, first hit of the day. You want to do a triple backflip, Ethan?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
That's the one thing I wish, like, I get they're trying to prevent injuries, but at the same time, you got to be able to have some fun. I always hated that about ramps. Because me and Rylan would always be like, okay, we got to get our hits done so we can dick around and do, like, branny backs off the triple or whatever the hell we were doing. But yeah, I always hated that. You've got to do 30 jumps today, 15 left and 15 right, all corks.
Oh my god,
oh
dude.
My god.
Remember the days of certifying a dub 10?
No, I did them in a day. I did both ways in a day. It took me like 10 minutes.
I had to do 100.
I did 5. I did 5 one way and 5
I had to do
the other.
100 dub 10s on water ramps before I was allowed to do it on snow. Patrick and Saxon.
Dude,
it was the worst thing ever. Dude, I spent an entire summer doing 100
That
dub
is
10s.
true. I did spend an entire summer doing dub 10s, but when it came, they're like, all right, we're going to qualify them. And I had to do like 5 hits at different spots on the double and like one on the triple. And it was like, couple to the left, couple to the right. All right, you're good to go. That was it. But I did spend an entire summer doing right corks and left corks. Saxon wouldn't let me do doubles. And then the next year on patch team, it was just both way dub 10s. And you couldn't do anything else. I know exactly what Ethan's talking about. It was just me and Rylan, and then finally we convinced them all to let us have a game of pig. And me and Rylan were the only guys that ramped after skiing, and it was just me and Rylan left. We each had no letters, and everybody else was gone.
Yeah.
Like, that's...
Yeah, man, like, ramping with Rex was actually super fun. He was just like, you need to get this stuff done, and, like, if we weren't getting it, like, he'd be like, okay, we'll do this on tramps at lunchtime. Like, we'll come back to it. It wasn't like, you need to do 60 of this and 60 of this. It was just like, yeah. And then once he saw you got it, he was like, okay, do 3 or 4 more. And, like, cool. And then sure enough, like, we were in New Zealand later that summer, and it was just like, came time, like, I did all my all-way 9s. He was like, you want to do switch dub or dub 10 first? I was like, dub 10. I did 1 dub 10, and I landed on my butt, like, over-rotated just a little bit. He's like, okay, now switch dub. And I was doing switch dubs all day, and then dub 10s. Like, everything was just, like, we had done it enough times, but it wasn't like we overtrained everything. Like, it was, like, a perfect kind of balance. And not to mention, like, I learned so many other dubs because he was just like, do you want to learn this, or do you want to, like, give it a shot while we're here on ramps?
Yeah.
So, like, I learned dub 9s and, like, dub flat 9s and all sorts of, like, I learned dub front flip, switch dub backflip, dub backflip, like, all those weird-ass stuff because he was just like, do you want to try them on ramps while we're here? Like, this is where it's going to be forgiving. And then, sure enough, snow came, and I was like, I want to do this stuff on snow too, man.
Well, that's it. I do not want to do 4 tricks. I don't want to do a forward double cork, a switch rodeo, and a switch cork. Like, that's literally all we did. When you sat down, like, this is what we're doing this year, it's like, what about underflips? I would love to do a filthy dub underflip 9 blunt. Or I would like to do a, I don't know, dub bio 10 mute. Like, and you were never allowed to do anything. That was one thing I absolutely hated. Like, if you wanted to do it, you had to do it on your own. And then you get in trouble for doing it because you weren't following the rules. It was such bullshit.
I will say, I do have some good corks now.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
We all have good corks, thanks Saxon and Pat.
I will say, Saxon did. I could do a dub 10 mute, absolutely textbook, with my eyes closed on trampoline right now, still. Or on skis, probably. Gun to my head, I could probably do one.
But I could too, but I probably wouldn't want to. Like, at this stage in my life, I do not want to do something where it's just like,
you get me a nice
need to fucking do this.
No, if I'm feeling it, I'm in the back country, got a nice jump, hell yeah, I'll send a dub 10, absolutely tomahawk and wreck myself, but hey, I'm gonna try.
We'll get you doing some dub 10s at Louis this year, Ethan. There'll be 1 or 2 days.
I have to go to work on Monday, man. Like, I don't know how I feel about this sending thing.
You did it quite well last year. I mean, you weren't going to work, but...
Yeah. Now I'm going to...
Oh, this is the first cutout of the podcast.
Well, while Ethan's out, I'm going to give him my recommendation. Just hold it together till you go to work and then pretend to fall off a ladder.
I do get benefits now, though.
Oh, he gets benefits.
We got that part. You cut out.
Yeah, what? The Wi-Fi's not great.
Oh, sorry. So I said I have benefits through work. So I got, like, physio, chiropractor. So, like, I guess if I fall, I'll be able to cover it.
I said...
That's perfect.
Dude, I said you just got to hold it together until you get to work and then pretend to fall off a ladder and you'll get WSIB.
I didn't even get CERB. Like, I would feel so... I'm not a liberal. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah. No, that's fair.
Yeah.
But hey, if you do fall off a ladder at work, you can get paid for it.
You can.
Yeah, and then I won't be able to ski, so I'm just missing out on everything.
Don't fall off a ladder at work. That's not a good idea.
Don't get hurt this season. That's the game plan.
Well, then we're going to need to get you some
I'm going POW skiing. Get some POW skis and come to BC.
Yeah, I don't want to. Yeah, no, not right now. Maybe in the spring. I'm actually down for a good trip to the BC in the spring.
I can't. I'll be in school January, February, and then I'm Freemasoning it after that.
Well, I'll be
I was thinking like March, April, maybe. Actually, March, definitely. I can't. My busy season's in April for work, but like March, big POW trip for Ethan and Pat.
I got the new set up, mounted up. I'm ready to ski.
Can Bruce
Carson Sharp? Do you know who Carson Sharp is?
No. Yeah, I do.
Yeah, Carson Sharp told me I need to come to Revelstoke and hang out with him too. So I think
Revy's
it's going to be like the whole moss of the boys.
Revy is my favorite place on earth.
Yeah, we definitely got to go to Whistler.
I don't like Whistler anymore. Revelstoke's my favorite place on earth.
I'm down
well, we got to go to Whistler because I need to go to Garth's with all the boys and spill champagne all over.
I don't think we'll be able to do that by March.
All over women. Yes.
Yeah. Let's go to Garth's.
If COVID's up, but I doubt it will be, so we'll be stuck in the interior living in a shed and skiing. The good stuff.
That's fair. I honestly COVID literally changed my life.
Yeah.
For the better, I think, but I'm actually not really bummed about it unless it cancels my entire ski season again.
Yeah, well that's why I know I'm going to be in BC, and I know, so I got a full touring setup. I spent $3 to $4 grand on the touring setup.
Jesus.
Earlier in the week it was $1,000, Bruce. Now it's $4. He just keeps up in the price. It's all over the place.
Wait a second. I don't want to actually admit how much money I spent. So give me a second.
I keep calling about it how much money I spent. He's like, no, it's only like $1,000.
You can. I've written down the price of everything I've bought, and it's there. You can read it out.
All right. First aid kit, $55. Bivy sack.
What?
Yeah, I know.
I got a backcountry first aid kit. It's important. They said you need one.
It gets worse.
How is this a thing?
Bivy sack, $30. Ski strap,
That's an
$9.
emergency blanket, by the way.
Flashlight and headlamp, $73. A water bottle, $17. A lighter, $0.
I found the lighter. I made a list of what I needed, and I happened to find a lighter. So I checked it off the list. It's just
a snow saw, $35. A shovel, $90. A probe, $106. All right, here we go. A beacon, $568. Bindings, $450.
Those are pivot 80s.
Skis, White Walkers, $1,115.
I'm not sponsored anymore. What do you want from me?
Skins, $260. Daymakers, $500. Snow study kit, $112. I'm not adding the total up.
Oh, wait, no. I actually saved money on that. I got to change that. I found it cheaper somewhere else to give me money back.
It's definitely plus $2,000.
What?
Dude,
I've got with taxes. What I want to know with taxes.
That is with
final amount.
That is with taxes. I round it up on everything, and it all includes shipping. But I don't like.
But he doesn't have $3,000 to spend to fix his car, so he can get out west.
I'm just gonna ride my dirt bike out there with a gas can strapped to my back, 'cause it'll only go like 30 kilometers on a tank.
We're still figuring things out.
I don't know how you'll make it across northern Ontario.
No,
let me know how it goes though.
The YZ250.
You're really in need and you really need assistance. I could come help you, but I'm not taking you further than Thunder Bay. That's my limit.
I lost it on the dirt bike. I ate shit. I'm in the middle of the road.
No way. Were you doing a wheelie?
I've got the full touring setup so I can park my car on the side of the road and just go somewhere. Because I don't have.
That's good. Good for you. I'm glad you have that.
Yes, thank you.
Bruce, we can still park in the Louis parking lot and go shred the park, right?
That sounds like a cheaper variable for me.
Yeah, how much? I spent like $700 on a pass. What did you spend?
Like $450 because I got.
I don't have to buy a pass.
My pass is free though because park staff.
Because Bonnie buys.
Oh yeah, I'm not working, so I spent my $700 at the park, on the pass, and then. Yeah, most of my gears.
I don't have K2 skis to give me stuff.
Sponsored,
yeah, big shout out to Chris at K2 skis.
You coach.
Big shout out to Chris Thompson at K2, and
if you want to give away skis, I'm here. I will change my shirt if you give me new stuff.
Podcast Pat, out with it.
Out with it. He wants.
Are you gonna finally admit that Armada is not as great as K2?
I'll never admit that. I've been on Armada for 7 years now, and I will not change it.
You're not on Armada anymore, though.
No, I'm not on, but I've
still been buying Armada skis for the last 3 years.
2 years. No, year. I haven't bought anything until this year. I didn't buy anything last year, and the stuff before that I got. So I've been riding. When I say on, I've been using or abusing.
Using and abusing.
Using and abusing, yeah.
I got these new Daymakers. Actually, I'm kind of.
What are they? I was gonna ask.
So, because
are they like short skis, like those ski blades?
No.
I'm getting a pair of ski.
They are an insert. So because I have some skis that have look pivots, and the boots I have now don't have pin lock systems on them, I'm like, okay. If I get a pin lock system down the line, whatever. But it's basically an insert so you could tour. It basically clips into your binding and then your boot clips into it, and then you can do the whole walking thing.
Nice.
Yeah. You can adjust it for angles. They are $380 US.
My nice new K2 boots have walk mode and they have.
Bruce is going to do a double and catch his pole on his boot, and he's going to be in walk mode coming into the mammoth fucking booter. His last one about to do a switch dub 14 and be like full fold on the takeoff.
I was actually a little worried about that. I'm going to tape them down.
Yeah, so I broke my pair of boots before COVID hit. I ordered Chris was getting the new pair, but I fully fracked my boot. They were duct taped up,
yeah,
and I was like,
"Hey, hang on a minute."
I totally forgot about it. I literally totally blanked on it. I was like, And all of a sudden, I was going through my gear the other day. I was like, do I need anything? Like, maybe a new pair of snow pants? And I was like,
were they this bad?
Holy crap.
Were they this bad?
Yeah, there were worse.
No, I saw them. They were really bad. Ethan cracked the hell out of them.
I cracked the hell out of them.
Yeah, so I was like going through my shit, and I literally texted Chris. I was like, hey, Dad. And he's like, what do you want? And I was like, so, boots. He's like, yeah, I've got your boots here. They're just sitting here. I was like, oh, perfect, thank God.
That's so mad.
I need to get new boots this year. Everyone's getting new boots. I should spend another $800 on boots.
Yeah, you should.
Here. Actually, I don't think I should. I'll show you anyways. Here. So there's the crack. Oh, flip camera.
You double flipped
it.
Yeah.
There's the crack. You see that?
Yeah, that's brutal.
Oh, right in the toe.
Yeah, it cracked in the toe, yeah.
What, are you kicking people in the ass?
Yeah, I kicked Bruce so hard in the ass because he needed to get speed for a jump.
I was going slow that day.
I cracked mine when I overshot the jump in Australia.
I'm just excited to have new boots for the first time.
Wait. Because I'm in here, let's shout out to K2 and these sick poachers. And we got the Rechners back there. Got a pair of Mindbenders.
Do you have any fat skis?
You have more K2 skis than I do. What is this anarchy?
Yo, big shout out to K2.
Ethan's better than me.
I'm gonna have to go start fighting Chris. We're gonna have to have a little fight over who's the best.
Do you have POW skis?
I have a pair of 102 underfoots, but I really want to get the Rechner 112s. Those
get the 133s.
I want to.
No! When am I ever gonna ski 6 feet of fresh snow?
Hey, you don't need it for 6 feet of fresh stuff. You need it for when you're in Revy and they have an 8-meter base and they just got 90 centimeters of freshies and you go somewhere no one's been before.
Yeah, I'll just stick with my 112s. Like, those would be sick. They can keep my little gut, my beer gut up out of the snow.
That's fair. I rode 116s last winter on my trip and I was golden.
There you go.
Oh yeah.
We're set.
You don't need a 133. I mean, it would be kind of, I don't know when you'd really need it. It'd be cool. It'd be hard to ski those things, man. Your turning radius would be like 1 kilometer long.
Yeah, and like at Mount St. Louis, I do one turn to the left, get up the left, then do one turn to the right.
And then you're back on.
Man, one of the
just like alternate, I guess.
Here's one. I center mounted my JJs.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, remember that whole debacle? So I've just mounted my White Walkers the other day, and I was like looking at them. They have a factory recommended and the Sammy Carlson recommended. I went with the Sammy Carlson.
Sammy Carlson.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's like okay.
It's not center mounted, but it's further ahead than the factory recommended.
There you go.
I wanted to put into perspective, having tried the center mounted skis. Try skiing down Revelstoke groomed run. They start slapping and they start turning and you're going so fast and there's a cat track coming up and there's kids in the way and I'm just thinking I'm gonna just hit this thing and it's gonna be like a dream where you take off and don't come down. That's exactly what I was thinking every time I tried to ski down from Revy. It was the scariest thing I've ever had to do. And I couldn't go slow because then I couldn't turn. It was just a disaster.
Well, boys. As we three might say, including Kyle Doherty, and, well, you know, ski fast, eat ass, right?
I skied fast.
Well,
I scared myself.
Actually, Ethan, I have...
you wouldn't want to eat my ass after that run.
Oh, my God. All right, this podcast is taking a turn for the worse. I love it. I was going to say, I made a plan today for my ski fast... my ski fast edit. I'm gonna make a snowblade edit this year, and a Vertica Speedo, and a bike helmet and aviation goggles, and just drop dubs at Louis in a on
can I be part of this? Like, we have matching tattoos, Bruce.
Yes.
And Pat, like, we all have matching tattoos.
We can make this happen.
How painful was that tattoo?
It was the least painful.
That was the most painful tattoo ever. The guy was like, yeah, don't go drinking tonight because you guys will bleed out. And I actually believed him.
Yeah. Well, the fact, put this into perspective, me, Ethan, and Kyle got it done at the same time. And me and Ethan went first, and then Kyle went after us. Bruce got it done later. Bruce's is smaller than ours. Just, you know, it's fitting.
I was away. They went and did it without me. It's not fair.
Oh, that hurt so much.
That was a good time. Bruce, you better throw, like, I don't know, show yours on this podcast so everyone can see what it looks like.
Oh, we could do side-by-side pictures, and then you can see how much smaller his is. Because we all have the same stencil, me, you, and Kyle, but we didn't have the stencil for Bruce.
You're right.
It's not the exact same.
Oh, I gave one to Adam McIntyre too. Adam McIntyre has my homemade one on his butt.
Which is
You tattooed his ass
with his own tattoo gun.
Show everybody the tattoo Ethan gave
I can't
you.
show them the tattoo. The camera's too far away. I'll post a picture of it later.
This is my tattoo that Ethan gave me that Adam's
it was
girlfriend.
really cool.
Put this into perspective. We're in our basement of our trap house with our LED lights on, and Black Sabbath is just ripping on, and Ethan's like
tattooing the boys.
It was terrible.
That was a good time.
Yeah, don't buy a tattoo gun on Amazon, and don't let somebody else tattoo you.
I literally locked it in a safe and threw it in the trash can. I was like, I can't keep damaging my body and other people's bodies.
I have one. I got one.
Yeah, me and Pat both have a patented
Is Adam's girlfriend's name's Emily?
Yeah.
Remember she drew that one, and then you like did the outline of
I stenciled it. It was great.
No,
it worked out fine.
she stenciled it, but you did it.
Yeah, that's it.
That one was the best. If you compare this to Bruce's, mine was definitely higher up.
So for those of people that have seen my tattoo or will see it down the line, I have a handy-capable lightning bolt on my knee. It is the most... it's the stupidest looking lightning bolt you ever will see. And it's all courtesy of this man here, so...
You're welcome. Thank you very much.
You should have kept it, but we should have done break in case of a bet, and then you could only get it if you lost a bet.
Yeah, that's a fair...
No, it would be bad.
That would be bad.
Let's not ever get a tattoo gun again. Let's just say that.
You know what you're getting for Christmas this year?
This shit went to his house. Courtesy of the podcast.
$60 tattoo gun rolls up.
Yo, can we get it wrapped with a Red Bull decal?
Yeah, I'll talk to my chica over there, and hopefully she'll hook us up.
I want him to paint a big Red Bull mural on the wall, but he doesn't want to do it.
Yeah, that would be super
He said, what
sick.
happens when I'm no longer with Red Bull? I'm like, what, do you get in a relationship and say, what happens when this is over?
Well, I don't have to race. I don't have to race it.
No,
eventually.
Fucking do it here, but don't do it huge.
I also don't want it to be like.
There's
I
just
want
a bunch
it to be
of
just
tits there right now. I mean, you could put
Patrick tits on the wall behind us.
No, you did too. We had a competition.
No, there's no porn cave. Like, we can't go back to the porn cave days, man.
No, I want it to
those
be
were
respectable.
Nightmarish.
I could do that if you send me some magazine clippings. Next time Bruce goes to Maximize his upstairs room, not here.
No, that was bad.
Like, I hated that. I remember going down there with my girlfriend at the time.
Yeah, oh my God.
Was like,
hang on.
I was like, I felt so uncomfortable. I was like, these dicks are so much bigger than mine.
I'm not gonna lie. I thought it was a great idea until it took 8 hours, and I was like, okay, this is terrible. But it was so much work, I can't take it down.
Why did you decide to put up these magazines on Bruce's wall?
I had to sleep.
This is what
I had
happened.
to sleep with this for almost I didn't have to, but I did. I slept with it for almost 3 months. My entire room.
This is what happened. There was porn magazines in the house that I don't know where they came from. I didn't buy them. They were just there.
So no, I want the whole backstory. Like, what were you doing 12 hours beforehand?
No, this is the backstory. I found the porn magazine. I was like, oh, there's porn magazines here. And I remember leaving them on that sketchy futon they used to sleep on in the basement. And then,
yeah, I remember that
and
one.
then me and Cooper were drinking, and we're like, yo, Bruce is gone for 2 weeks, and he pissed us off. He did something, he left his car in the middle of the driveway or something, and we were angry.
They
rolled,
rolled my car into the street.
Yeah, I broke into his car, put it in neutral. That was a professional robbery. There, it didn't end up in the ditch. It just ended up in the street with a planter frozen to the roof. Remember we put the planter on the roof, too? That it just froze in place? Anyway, I was like, yo.
That house was fucked.
Yeah, I know.
It was a lot of fun,
Bruce
though.
left the tub on upstairs, and it flooded all through the cooling ducts into the basement. Anyway, Rylan was taking a shit. He comes out, he's like, is your toilet overflowing? The like fan in the basement is just spewing water everywhere. Anyway, I found these magazines, and I was like, yo, Cooper, let's put these up in Bruce's room. So it took us like 2 hours. We ripped them all apart. We like taped it. I mean, I contoured it perfectly. And then a week went by, and we're like, yo, it's like half done. We could finish this. So we went and bought more magazines, and then we started, and we're like, it ended up, there was me, Cooper, Kelsey, and Ashlyn. There was like 6 of us involved, and it took literally like days. It wasn't great. But this, Ethan, look, you'll like this one.
That's my girlfriend. That was my girlfriend at the time.
I
Yep.
was just sitting there looking off into the distance as me and Scott.
She was hoping for something better, I guess.
All I
She
know
stayed
is,
around longer than I thought she would. In
No,
that
I broke
environment.
Her heart. I literally broke her heart. I just moved to Whistler.
You were like, should I tell her? I'm like, probably. But you're like, no, I'm just going to move to Whistler.
That was bad.
Oh.
that's pretty savage, but that's the way it goes. I'm glad I haven't done something like that yet.
Honestly, I think back to the Barry days. I'm like, I kind of miss that house. The
Oh,
house
dude, I miss it.
Sucked, but
So-
it was so much fun.
So here's our plan. Like, obviously, me and Pat, we're gonna make some fucking millies.
Okay, I want to say something before you start this.
Yes.
Ethan and I had the compound idea before you and I had the compound
Yeah,
idea.
we all had the compound
We're
idea
gonna buy a property in northern Ontario
That's
Yeah.
and literally just turn it into the compound.
Hey, I'm not opposed
No,
to
but
that
we're
idea.
gonna buy the Barry house and transfer
And move it! We'll do that. Remember those monster moves on Discovery Channel?
I love that. That's the best idea yet.
No, that'll be
I
amazing.
like that
No.
idea.
We've all got good enough memories. We could just build like 3 of them side by side, and we could all have our own Barry house for different
No, I
occasions.
can't
I
can't have
don't
a-
want to have my own Barry house. That is a no-no.
We all have to be in the same house for it to be worth it, and it has to be
Yeah.
the same level of
I mean,
dingy.
like, at this rate, I probably won't ever have a wife, so that's fine.
All right.
I
sounds
think we
good.
just all are responsible. We build one clubhouse together with like a ballin' ass kitchen and like
Yeah, like a rendezvous at the top of Whistler, except it'll just be in the compound. And
Fucking
we can all just
huge-
live in a massive building like
a
that.
huge movie theater. We could either do rooms in the building, or we could each build our own sleeping accommodations.
There we go. That sounds awesome.
And then we need a dirt go-kart track for like rally go-karts. That's what I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
and because we drink too much, so we can't have dirt bikes all the time, because that's just bad.
No,
news.
we'll
Don't
have to
rope me
have
into this,
we'll
I'm
have to
sober.
have a question at the door. Is this a go-kart or dirt bike night?
Yes, that's a... We will have to call each other from our rooms and be like,
I'm going
listen,
go-kart.
what is it tonight? What is it tonight, boys?
No, you need this is I've honestly had this idea. I don't know why I've never seen anybody do it. You know shifter carts, like the real racing go-karts?
Yeah,
Yeah,
like on actual tracks.
Yeah. Why would you drive it on pavement when you could drive it on like a nicely manicured dirt track?
Because it's deadly?
Yeah,
You're
but
literally... There's no suspension on the thing. Your ass is on the ground.
okay, I'm not talking about like a shitty private road. I'm talking like a manicured, perfectly leveled, graded dirt track.
Okay, you go make
Yeah,
it.
so you
I
hit
will.
a jump and your butt...
No, there's
hits
no
the ground,
jumps.
You do a
Why-
front
why
flip
can't
and
there
you're
be
run
jumps?
over by your perfectly manicured go-kart.
There's no jumps. I'm talking about like a nice level, like a pavement level of dirt.
Okay, you do 3 laps and let me know what the ruts are like, buddy.
I'll get an industrial like paving roller and I'll make sure she's packed.
Oh. Anyways,
We got off topic a little bit. into
Yeah,
go-kart.
we're like way off topic here.
dude, we've clapped out almost an hour now.
Yeah, we have.
That's
I can keep
impressive. That is
Yeah, I
impressive.
think we can all keep going. That's a sad thing. Like, we're all just having a great time.
We're just catching up. I mean, I don't know what the listeners are like, but hopefully they stayed this long
I
because
like-
they've missed some, they had some
Yeah.
good stuff.
I like.
Yeah, if they missed a bunch of stuff, but like came back for certain things, like they're gonna be upset.
What the hell are these idiots
Yeah.
talking about?
Well, I'll just
Yeah,
post
that's
clips
about
of all the dumb shit in the app. I'll post
You wouldn't
clips
want to
in
eat
the-
my ass after that, right?
That will be like a
Oh,
2-minute
God.
clip I'll put on YouTube, and then I'll link out to the full episode, get people interested.
I got a point
Yeah,
back
so
to the
wait,
compound.
wait. I've got a question.
Yeah.
So I've had, like, my parents ask me, and I'm scared to now share this with my parents because we talked about my butt tattoo.
That's fine.
But like, if I were to, I literally have no clue how to work a computer. So,
Yes.
is there gonna be a link on YouTube? Is it gonna be?
Bruce will.
How's it gonna work?
Bruce will put you in contact with his link. He will link you in.
Okay,
I will put you in
perfect.
contact
That's
with
all I
my
wanted to know. That's all I
secretary.
wanted to know. That's
I
perfect.
want to make a point back to the compound. The only thing I like Northern Ontario. I don't like that. There's no
So
pow
fired up.
skiing. There's no pow skiing.
You
I'm
don't
a
need
big,
power skiing.
I
You
want
need-
it.
No. There is tons of power skiing in the power lines. You just need snowmobile tows
Yeah.
and
Sweet
everything.
Jesus.
Cooper was trying
How
to
about
me
we get a lot of money and
Yeah.
buy a really expensive float plane, and then we can have a second house in the mountains, and then we could just do
I
weekend
work
trips.
in agriculture, man.
I'm gonna work in the aviation industry. Just wait.
You do that. I don't see us ever making really lots of money, but like we could have a pretty shitty, like,
Hey,
you know, Skatopia.
you're not living here.
We
You're
could do,
not
like,
living
a
here.
Skatopia.
Well, no, I'm gonna get famous, and then I'm gonna make an OnlyFans, and then I'm gonna I'll buy the compound for you guys. Don't worry. A midget only
You ever
OnlyFans.
seen LA Jean Coffee, the surfers? That chick's
No.
OnlyFans?
No.
She's hot.
Okay.
I would not pay her rates to watch her, but I follow her on Instagram. She is hot.
We just got to make a bet with Bella Thorne that we can win because she makes $2 million in a week. We'll bet her 1 week's worth of her OnlyFans income on something, but we just have to win.
Dude, they make so much money on OnlyFans.
Plus, you can get a 24-person private jet for only like $6 million.
I don't want a private jet. Like, I literally am afraid of flying.
I'll fly, don't worry.
Also, that makes it worse.
I don't want to be in a plane with you flying.
Once I take the UFC featherweight, flyweight belt, then I'll start thinking.
That's actually a real opportunity for us all to make money. Well, us all to make money with mooching off of Bruce. So I like that idea.
I'm gonna get my pilot's license.
Dude,
I will get a plane we can all fit in.
If the vlogs and stuff get to the point where it's big enough, I'm going to hire a cameraman. I'm going to get you guys to come live in the same house as me. And realistically, it's going to be our own TV show.
But I just went to school for firefighting. I have to fight fire now.
It's going to be... imagine if we had a TV show of all the stuff we've done over the years.
Imagine if everything you ever had was on film. Man, I'd have some bangers. I missed a lot of stuff.
I'd go to jail.
I'd be in
jail right now.
But we'd have a good TV show.
I missed...
Yeah, we'd have a fucking awesome
Okay,
TV
let's say
show.
you could only see it, though. Then you could release some stuff. Like, there's so much stuff I've done.
I can only release the things that won't put me in jail.
Yes.
I like that idea.
Yeah, well, that's why we have...
But my point is, there's stuff you never got on film. Like my overshoot in Australia, I would pay someone $1,000 if I could get that video. I would honestly give you $1,000 if you had that video. Anyone out there who has a video of some idiot in 2016?
I didn't talk about one of my injuries. There was that one injury where I jumped off a bridge of some
Oh,
sort.
yes, we forgot about this.
My lungs were bleeding.
Shows
and I
up
was
at my
coughing up
house.
blood, and that was like 40 minutes north of Barrie.
Can you take me to the hospital?
I drove my car to Pat and Bruce's house so they could take me to the hospital.
That was a wild day.
Yeah, I think we talked about that briefly on the podcast.
Not on this podcast. Before we did. I got the video. We'll make sure to link in the video.
That was a bad one.
Yeah, that was bad.
I'll also
my dad
link in
was really upset.
Yes, I remember that. I'll also link in a video of Ethan doing a double backflip tip catch at Louis in like 2012.
Yes, that's a good one too.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
We'll put on a few. Big shout outs to Ethan Harrison.
Big shout outs. All right, man. Well, we should wrap this up because we hit an hour, and if it goes
Bruce
past
gets
an hour,
very shy when his podcasts go over an hour.
When my dude,
Well, thank you so much for having me on. Like, this was fucking awesome.
yeah, dude, for sure. Well, I'm just gonna sign off the podcast here.